examining the parts, I noticed that each piece has a whole triangle from the end, and then there's the width of the material, and then there's another triangle in the other direction. Then there's the width of the material again going the opposite way. So first I mark a 30-degree line from the corner, creating that first triangle. Then line up a piece on that line to get the thickness of the material. Then I can bring that line straight down. I flip the piece over, then from that line I make a 30-degree line running the opposite way as the first side and mark the other edge of the material, defining the edge of the joint. These are essentially going to be half lap joints, so I mark half the material's thickness, and this is what the cuts on each piece will look like. Just like the first trivet, all these parts will be identical. First step, set the blade height to half the thickness of the material, and I'll use the same auxiliary fence and stop block setup as before because it worked out really well for me, so why not? The only thing that I'm doing differently here is that the stop block is set up so it's only making the initial cuts on all the parts. I'm just setting the boundaries of all the joints first. So I make the initial cut on all the parts, then move the stop block to the opposite edge of the joint to define its width and make that cut on all the pieces. To do the opposite phase, there is no need to change the setup of the fence, so this joint seems complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Same thing on this side, just defining the boundaries of the joints on all parts. That's the hard part. Now I simply clear all the waste between all these cuts I just made, and all the parts look like this. It took me a while to figure out how these pieces will go together, but once I got that first one, the rest were easy to figure out. Only problem, this last piece is impossible to get in because the joint goes over and under. Took me a minute to figure out a solution, but I got it.